Picture this. It's the 27th of the month, your account shows $42, and you still have 3 days until payday, 2 bills due, and a friend asking if you're coming out at the weekend. If you earn a small or middle income, and some version of that scene keeps repeating, this video is for you. Right now, around half of adults report living paycheck to paycheck. For many people earning between $1,500 and $4,000 a month, it isn't about luxury. It's rent, food, basic bills, and still that tight, constant pressure. This is Wealth Mentor Pro, where every lesson is a step closer to your freedom. Today we're talking about how to finally stop living like a prisoner of your paycheck. Not with a magical side hustle or a stop drinking coffee speech, but with a calm, realistic plan. The real difference between people who escape paycheck prison and those who stay stuck isn't luck. It's the timeline they use and the system they follow. Imagine your money life like a GPS. You get paid, you pay whatever screams the loudest, then you hope you don't hit a financial pothole before the month ends. Take someone earning $2,100 a month, paying $1,100 in rent, $300 on groceries, $250 on transport and phone, and the rest disappears into I don't even know where. That's not stupidity. That's what happens when you're driving without seeing the map. Your first small step is simple. For 1 full month, track every dollar in and out without trying to fix anything yet. If you skip this, you stay blind, and blind drivers rarely arrive where they wanted to go. Once you see the road, something surprising appears. Even on very tight incomes, there's usually a small crack where an escape path can start. Most videos will tell you to download a clever budgeting app or cancel 3 subscriptions and call it done. They're zoomed in on the next week. What they almost never say is that for low and middle incomes, escaping paycheck to paycheck is usually a 24-month project, not a 24-day challenge. When you accept that, the question quietly changes from why am I failing to what is my next small move over the next 2 years? That shift alone takes a lot of shame out of the process. So let's zoom the map out. Think of the next 24 months as 4 stages. Stabilize, build a small buffer, clean the worst debt, and then build options. In the stabilize stage, which might be months 1 to 6, your job is to stop sinking deeper, get current on essential bills, stop adding new high-interest debt, and find even $40 to $60 of wiggle room each month. For our $2,100 earner, that might mean renegotiating a phone plan by $20, cutting 1 food delivery per week to save another $40, and resisting impulse online shopping. Suddenly, there's $60 a month that wasn't there before. This week, choose 1 recurring bill and ask, can this be cheaper or smaller, and actually make the change. If you never stabilize and instead jump straight into aggressive debt payoff or investing, the first emergency will knock over your entire plan. Next comes the buffer stage, months 6 to 12, where that $60 helps build a first $300 to $500 safety cushion. This isn't some textbook 6 months of expenses. For a lot of people, that number is so huge, it might as well be Mars. A tiny buffer is like the first solid piece of road under your wheels after miles of mud. One $280 car repair no longer means borrowing from a friend or putting it on a 25% credit card. Skip this phase, and every small emergency drags you straight back into crisis and debt. There's another piece almost nobody talks about, and it might be the one that made you give up on budgeting before. If every plan you've tried demanded total perfection and zero joy, of course, it collapsed. Saying no to yourself 31 days in a row is not discipline. It's a countdown to a blow-up. So in this plan, from month 1, we include a tiny relief line, maybe $20 or $30 a month, set aside for small comforts. On a $2,000 income, that might be 1 low-cost streaming service and 1 simple treat meal per month. Right now, open your Notes app, add a budget line called Sanity, and give it a small but real number. Ignore this, and you burn out. You start strong, feel miserable, and 1 bad day wipes out 3 months of progress. The quiet truth is this: that little joy line is not the problem. It's what lets you keep going long enough for the numbers to change. Escaping paycheck prison isn't only about money going out, it's also about how you frame the whole game in your head. If you expect yourself to fix 10 years of financial stress in 10 weeks, you'll keep failing, even when you're actually improving. From this point on, hold 1 simple sentence in your mind: How to finally stop living like a prisoner of your paycheck is not about perfection. It's about building a small, repeatable gap between what comes in and what goes out, and protecting that gap for 24 months. If you had to guess, which of the 4 phases are you in right now? Stabilizing, buffer, cleaning debt, or building options? Let me know in the comments if you want to, because simply naming it often makes the path clearer. Now let's turn all of this into 3 clear rules you can actually use. Rule 1. Build a floor, not a fantasy. Base your core budget on a realistic worst normal month, not the best overtime month you've ever had. When you do that, your plan stops breaking every time life is slightly worse than average. Imagine you usually bring home between $2,000 and $2,400. Instead of planning around $2,400, you design your essentials around $2,000. Rent, food, transport, basic bills. Maybe that leaves you $100 of intentional wiggle room in a $2,000 month and $500 in a $2,400 month. Those better months become opportunity, not just relief from panic. If you plan around the highest number, every normal month feels like failure, and that feeling is exactly what keeps people stuck. Rule 2. Buy a $500 safety cushion before you buy progress. The first job of your extra money is not extra payments or investing, it's basic safety. Without a cushion, every unexpected $200 expense becomes a crisis that wipes out your good intentions. Say you can free up $60 a month. At that pace, it takes about 9 months to hit $500. That might sound slow, but compare it to the last 5 years of spinning in circles. Once you have that first $500, a surprise dentist bill, a sudden bill increase, or a small car fix stops being a story about how everything falls apart at once. It becomes annoying, but manageable. Only after that cushion exists do you start directing that $60 toward your most painful high-interest debt or your first long-term savings. Rule 3. Always keep one small joy and one small step. One joy keeps you human, one step keeps you moving. Practically, that might mean $25 a month set aside for something you genuinely enjoy, and another $25 set to automatically hit a savings account or debt payment on the same day every month. On a $2,300 income, those two $25 lines won't make or break the math, but they completely change how this journey feels. The joy line reminds you that your life is not on pause for 2 years. The small step line, even if it's just $25, tells your brain, I am someone who improves my situation every month. That identity shift is powerful. People who feel like the kind of person who makes progress keep going long after the initial motivation fades. There's one more quiet payoff here. Let's put a simple equation under this whole idea so you can quickly tell whether you're stuck in paycheck prison or already building your exit. Paycheck prison looks like this. Every month, bills due in the next 30 days are equal to or greater than the money arriving in the next 30 days. An exit path looks like this. Money arriving is even $20 more than the bills due, and that $20 is treated as sacred. Over 24 months, that sacred gap slowly grows from $20 to $50, from $50 to $80, and your life goes from, if one thing goes wrong, I'm done, to things still go wrong, but I can handle them. So when you see that little red or gold piggy in your mind's eye, sitting behind the bars of your paycheck prison, remember this: the bars are made of habits and timelines, not fate. Track 1 month, choose one bill to shrink. Protect one small joy and one small step. Repeat those moves for 24 months and watch how different your story feels. You're not behind, you're just starting your escape with a clearer map. If this video helped you breathe a little easier about money, feel free to like it and subscribe for more calm, realistic lessons like this. And when you're ready for your next step, pick another video from Wealth Mentor Pro and keep walking your way out of paycheck prison, one clear decision at a time.